Hey everyone, I hope you guys got a well rest from our previous rest day. Now we're going to tackle our upper body workout for this week, our second upper body workout, and it's our second last workout of this week. So guys, I want you to give it all you got this workout and leave it all on the table there, right? Hey everyone, so we just finished our rest day. So we had 2 workouts and 1 rest day. So now we should be on day 4 of week 2 or phase 2. So this workout is another upper body workout, and we're going to start the workout by doing an exercise called the Renegade Row, or you can also simplify term as just like a push-up and row. So with this exercise, we're going to be grabbing 2 dumbbells, and you kind of use them as handles when you're doing a push-up, and then you just kind of like you do a push-up and then you row, and you push up and then row with the opposite arm. A tip I found when doing this exercise is that keep your feet wider apart. And what I mean by this is regularly during traditional push-ups, most people keep their feet together. But I found when I'm doing this exercise, it's a lot easier to have your feet kind of like a shoulder width apart because it gives you more balance, right? And I don't know if you guys have ever heard or you know about the people doing like one-arm push-ups and stuff. Kind of like a key or hack to that is when you keep your feet wide apart, right? Because it gives you a base, right? If you keep your feet together, it's quite difficult to do a one-arm push-up. So I'm kind of applying the same logic to this exercise where your feet are wider apart, gives you a solid base. You push up and you row. With this exercise too, it's a more difficult exercise, right? So you don't want to be picking dumbbells that are heavy, right? You may start with 5, 10, 15 pounds, right? It's a tough exercise, right? And if you can't do it, perfectly fine once again, right? This is one of the harder exercises that I put in this program, right? So what you want to focus on, if you can't do it, forget about the weights, right? Literally just go down, do a push-up, and then just bring your hand and row. And it's not just like a quick random motion, right? It's not like a jerky motion. Imagine like you're physically contracting and controlling your muscles. So it's like push up and row and squeeze your back, and then push up and row, right? And that's just as good as using weights, right? It's just if you can't use weights now, do it without weights, right? And then eliminate the excuse to not do the exercise, right? If you say, oh, it's too hard, right? Try it without weights, right? And if you try it without weights and you still can't bring your arm up in row, that's okay again, right? We're all in different levels in fitness here. And if you can't do that, then just straight up stick with push-ups for this exercise. But that is the Renegade Row. It's a funny name, but there's a Renegade Row or push-up and row, whichever you prefer to call it. Hey everyone, so for our next exercise, we're going to be doing seated dumbbell overhead press. So with this exercise, we're going to be picking dumbbells, once again, that aren't too heavy for us, that we can control throughout the whole motion. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 dumbbells up, grab them, put them on our knees, like vertically, put them on your knees, and then bring them up. And with this, we're going to press and press. With this, you don't have to. Like I've seen people, they press the dumbbells and they touch them together, right? So they bring them kind of like vertically, right? And the issue with this, when the dumbbell's vertical, is that there's no more tension on your shoulders, right? And it's kind of like, it is kind of, people think it's good, like a full range of motion, quote unquote full range of motion, but it's actually you're resting your shoulders, because when your arm is like that, the dumbbell exerts force only in one direction, and that's straight downwards, right? So when we know that, the weight's only going down and your joints are literally stacked, right? So we have our arm and it goes down to our shoulder. So it's just tension going through our bones, right? None of our muscles, maybe our stabilizers like our abs are being worked, but it's not at all our shoulders anymore, right? And not our triceps either. So it's pretty much not important to touch the dumbbells or clank them together, right? Pretty much just go up, shoulder height, pretty much, or not shoulder height, shoulder width, right? Shoulder width. Just like when we're benching, shoulder width or outside of shoulder width, same concept when doing the overhead press with dumbbells, right? Slightly above your shoulders, right? So not a straight line, slightly outside of that to keep tension on the shoulders. What we also want to focus on too is not arching our lower back a lot, because I see sometimes too people arch their lower backs a lot, right? And the reason they do this is it makes the exercise easier. And how it does that is that you're using your chest now, right? When you arch your lower back, you're making it so you're able to push weight. You're allowed to push more weight because you're activating your chest now, right? Instead of your shoulders being so strict, you now have the ability to push with your upper chest, right? And we're not trying to do that. We're trying to only focus on our shoulders here. So another key pointer, keep your feet on the ground, planted solid, core tight. Same concept as before. We're not crunching our core, so we're not hunching our back, crunching our core, and we're not overextending to use our upper chest, right? Trying to keep straight as you can, overhead press. So that is the dumbbell overhead press. Hey guys, so for our next exercise, we're going to be doing dips. So what I want you guys to do for this one is, if you have the machine in your gym, it's a machine that's like a dip machine. And what I mean by this is, it's literally you sit down and you literally just can push the weight down. So it's just kind of like pushing weight downwards by your sides. The reason I chose this machine is because it gives you a huge option of weights to pick from, right? You can put the pin on really light, like say like 20 pounds, 30 pounds, or you can go up to like 100 pounds, 200 pounds, right? There's lots, it's a variety, right? So you don't have to be pushing all your body weight, right? As opposed to the parallel bars, meaning like 2 straight bars, I'll show it on the screen, right? You can do that as well. With 2 straight bars and you're doing dips right off of there. But the issue with that is you have to use your whole body weight, and not many people can actually do that, especially starting from the beginning. It's very difficult to do body weight dips. So that's why I chose the seated machine dip. But I know not many gyms actually do have that machine. Look around your gym to see if you have it, or you could ask around. But if you don't have it, another common one is there's a machine that's like a pull-up station mixed with a dip station. That it's like an assisted pull-up machine, right? You could ask someone at your gym or ask a buddy about that machine, and you've probably seen it around. And that allows you to, it's kind of like it works kind of like a counterbalance, where whatever weight you pick on that machine, the more weight you pick, that takes off your body weight, right? So it's, you put your knees on that, and say like you pick 90 pounds or 50 pounds, right? Whatever that number is. So say you pick 50 pounds, right? That takes 50 pounds off your body weight. So if you get on it and do a dip, say you're 150 pounds, right? It makes it so you're now moving 100 pounds, right? Which is easier than 150 pounds, right? So that machine's also really good, and you can also minus a lot of your body weight. So say you're 150 pounds or 130 or whatever, and you minus 100 pounds. Now it's only 30 or 50 pounds that you're pushing, right? So that's another, that machine, most gyms have it, so you should be able to have access to that if you do not have the seated dips. But yeah, with those body weight ones, you also want to focus on, if you want more tricep emphasis, we're going to be keeping our bodies more straight. But if we want to use more chest, leaning slightly forward is better for that, because leaning slightly forward engages your chest more, right? It allows you to use your chest muscles to push, right? Because we're now on an angle, so we're pushing, our chest is involved, right? As opposed to being vertical, less chest, more tricep. Both are different, right? People say, oh, what's better? Again, common example. They're both different, right? It depends what you want to work on. Chest, more chest emphasis, more tricep emphasis. Up to you which one you prefer. You could try both, give it a shot. Tell me which one you guys like. But yeah, that's the dips. Hey everyone, so for our next exercise, we're going to be doing cable curls, or cable straight bar curls. So we're going to go again to a cable station and attach a straight bar to it. And with the straight bar, we're going to put it on the lowest attachment you could find. And we're going to curl the weight up and then back down, curl the weight up. So I want you guys to focus on this one too, as when we're curling, we want to try to keep tension the entire time, right? A lot of people only squeeze at the top, right? So they get to the top and then they squeeze their biceps, right? With this one, we want to try to squeeze triceps through the whole range of motion with the straight bar, and then keep that tension the whole way down. And then you can let the tension go, squeeze your triceps, which means your biceps have a break. Squeeze your triceps at the bottom, squeeze the biceps before you move, and keep that tension continuous on the way up and on the way down, right? And another key pointer, the tip I heard from before, some people think of, imagine like you have someone's like finger or like a pinky or whichever finger you guys want, stuck in between here. So in between your arm, your upper arm, so your bicep and your forearm. You have a finger there, you try to squeeze it, come down and squeeze it, right? And that's a good, what's it called? It's a good analogy, or a good tool to use to work your lower bicep, right? If you want to keep that contraction on your lower bicep, it's good emphasis, right? Another one too is if you guys want to work on upper biceps, so kind of like the bicep peak, and it's a problem for me that I had to address, is I want to develop peaks, right? So develop peaks, you have to come up and you have to squeeze. So an example with this is you come up and you squeeze. So it's called an isometric contraction. If you guys want, you can come up to the top and hold and squeeze. And keep it holded there. What I mean by squeeze is contract your muscles, right? So when you get to the top, hold the contraction, squeeze it, lock it down. You can hold an isometric for 5 seconds, right? So I would recommend holding an isometric for about 3 to 5 seconds for each rep, right? And it's really tough. That's why I say 5 seconds, because once you start holding like 20-second isometrics, it's hard to do, right? So get here, 5 seconds, and do it on every rep in that exercise if you want to do more peak work for your bicep. Hey everyone, so for our last exercise in this workout, we're going to be doing bent over barbell rows. So once again, we want to keep grab a bar and keep our feet planted solidly on the ground, line the bar about your shoelaces, pick the bar up, come about to a 45-degree angle, do the same concept where we're protracting, retracting, and pulling with the bar. And we're pulling once again to about your nipple level, your belly button level, right? So you're pulling to your belly button or your hip, and you're squeezing your shoulder blades together every time you come up in the motion. And I know in this video that the weights I'm using is a 45 on each side, and that's really heavy to start off, right? So when I first learned this, I wasn't even using the bar, right? I was using say like a 25 or 35 pound bar, right? Because it's a tougher motion to learn, and weights, we're not trying to focus on how much you can pull or how much you can lift right now, right? We're focusing on technique, form, learning the motions properly, right? So don't pick a weight just because you think it looks cool, right? Or just because you think you can pull it and you feel really good doing it, right? That's not the point. The point is to learn it properly, right? So pick a weight you can control, you can handle, and you know that's correct for you. And it's okay if it's light, right? It doesn't matter whatsoever. It doesn't matter when you're learning, right? So same thing, protract, retract, pull, belly button level, squeeze the back, keep your core tight, keep your legs firmly planted, don't squirm them. And you're not taking a stagger stance in this too. Your feet are planted side by side, right? So that is the bent over barbell row. Hey, so we just finished up our second last workout of this week, of week 2, of phase 2. Guys, we're almost done week 2, and it's so awesome you guys are still here grinding through this program. Keep constantly learning, keep getting better, evolving, growing, right? That's so amazing, right? We're almost done week 2, right? Just one more workout. Don't skip this workout, right? A lot of people will be like, oh, I'll hit upper body and I'll skip lower body, but don't, right? That's not how we learn to work out, right? We learn to work out our whole bodies, right? We're not just upper body, not just singular muscles, but our whole body, right? We're a whole complex being, right? We have a lot of things to work out on. So make sure you stick it with this next workout, which is our last workout of the week. And then we get 2 days of rest, right? 2 days of rest after this. So don't worry about it, right? Give it all you got in this workout.